Okay, everybody, are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? Incredible. Well, yeah, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. This is my, let's just say it together, lovely, okay, post-market wrap-up on this Tuesday, August 3rd, 2021. How about this? A new all-time record high for the S&P 500 today. Did you see how this played out today? First of all, there was a rally across the board. Dow Jones Industrial Average, S&P 500, new record high, NASDAQ. Very interesting how this day played out. And no surprise to you, I explained to you this morning, I did not like the setup for the market. Again, we got bad economic news this morning, which you would expect would prop up the market. However, well, this is how it played out. Stock futures were higher across the board this morning. 10-year yield was under pressure, falling. That means cash was making its way into the debt market. 10-year yield stands at about 1.18. This morning it was 1.17. Okay. Crude oil was under pressure. I said to you this was not a good setup for the market, but I also said you should be buying every single dip that comes your way. So what happened? So this morning, market opened up green across the board, looking really great. Well, all of a sudden, these gains started going away. All of a sudden, they disappear. Stock market across the board, negative. Negative Dow, negative S&P 500, negative NASDAQ. Then all of a sudden, like the cavalry comes in here and just starts buying and buying and buying. Reverses everything, rally across the board, new record high for the S&P 500. And this is not going to stop. I told all of you, record high is coming, new record highs are coming. I told you this one was coming from a few weeks ago. We're going to get more, much more. Stock market is going much, much higher, much higher. So just be ready for it and take advantage of it here. I know my Lions are doing that. So with regard to the 10-year yield, it's 1.18. You just wait. Wait till it starts to creep up, 1.19, 1.21. I'm not talking about, spiking in an uncontrolled fashion, but once that starts to come up, and it will, the stock market is going to hit record high, record high, record high. Crude oil sitting at around $71 a barrel, a little pressure on crude today. Okay, I expect crude to go much higher as well. The Wall Street banks have a price target of $100. Most investment banks on Wall Street have a $100 price target on crude. I believe they're correct. So that is going to happen. And can you only imagine what that means for the price of petroleum-based products? You think inflation is bad now? Well, you just wait here. We got more to talk about with regard to that. So, what else is going on here? Cryptocurrency is under some pressure again today, people, but look at the run-up we've had lately off of the recent lows. It's been absolutely dramatic, okay? But that's what you would expect to see with cryptos. Wild swings. I still believe we will, with regard to Bitcoin and the other big cryptos, they will see new record highs again. That's my take on it. You're allowed to have yours. Okay. My money is where my mouth is. Where is yours? Okay. So with that said, gold and silver today finished mixed. Gold under a little pressure. Silver put on a slight gain today. The dollar finished about flat. That's the setup for the market. Okay. Understand, and I know you do, but I'm just going to repeat it. The more bad economic news that we get, and we keep getting it, it doesn't stop every single day, the higher the stock market's going to go. The stock market's going to sit back, investors, the banks, and say, okay, this is great. The economy's in free fall, fantastic. The bad news is going to keep coming, absolutely great. That means the Fed's going to continue to buy it all. They're buying at least $80 billion a month in treasuries, and at least $40 billion a month in mortgage-backed securities. These are floors. They can buy anything they want. They have a blank check given to them by Congress, okay? And none of our representatives represent us whatsoever. Anyway, I think you know that story. But anyway, interesting for the market today. New record high. I covered a bunch of assets with you. Now, I want to talk about this. We got another shocking piece of economic news today. Household debt Of course, new record high, keeps going up, but it's skyrocketing at its fastest pace in nearly a decade. People today are borrowing beyond their eyeballs just to make ends meet, just to maintain their middle class lifestyle. They continue to borrow and borrow and borrow and borrow again some more. It's an astonishing thing to see. But what else would you expect here? Again, people under pressure, an economy in free fall, so they must continue to borrow. You think this is by accident too? I want to talk about this real quick. So we heard from another thing from the Federal Reserve. Federal Reserve President Waller. Now, he is very concerned. He's very concerned about the rising pace of inflation. Again, this is historic. We've never seen inflation surge like this before here in the United States. He's very concerned about it. Very. He said this will prompt the Fed more than likely to taper early. People, this guy Waller, let's give him a big, fat, duh. They're not doing it. No way, no shape, no form. They have no intention. People, look, these creatures, these things that crawl out of the Federal Reserve, the presidents, well, their boss, Yellowstone Powell, he's not concerned about inflation. He said specifically he is not concerned about inflation. No. Do you know why? Because it's contained. I feel so great now because it's contained. It's not widespread. Do you believe that? Do you believe that inflation right now is not widespread? Do you believe it's contained? Let me ask you, why hasn't anyone maybe thought of asking a question of the Fed chair and say, hey, what do you mean it's contained? Do you believe maybe now a member of Congress, one of our representatives is going to call the Fed chair before a committee and say, oh, sir, so let me ask you a few questions. Let's start off with this. You believe inflation is contained? Well, yes, I do. Can you please explain that, you freaking idiot moron? And then how about this? Do you think one of our representatives maybe would ask Fed chairperson, thing, creature, hideous, vomitous mass that you are, can you please explain why is the Fed issuing debt through one door and then buying it back through another door? You see, because this process is massively inflationary. But it's contained, right? So tell us what it's contained to. People, it's impossible to make this stuff up. Now today, I forgot what channel it was I was watching, and they were all talking about it. They're again pointing their fingers at supply chain disruptions, issues, the rising cost of energy for inflation. They're really trying to deflect as much as possible away from the root cause. The root cause of what we are seeing, the current environment, is the Federal Reserve. But no. Look here. Don't look here. You understand? It's a very twisted, sick environment, people, and you must be on the right side of it. I don't know. You see, let me show you something lovely. You see this here? This is a piece of silver. I have some more over here. I got some more over here. I got silver all over my desk here. I love it. I love to touch it, play with it, kiss it. It's my favorite asset of all time. My favorite. If you're new here or if you have yet to invest in anything, okay, right here, okay, physical silver, that is, in my view, the most undervalued asset in the history of the world. Do your own research, of course, but I think you would have to agree with me if you have any slight understanding of the current situation. Anyway, people, look, we are going to take advantage of this just as we have been. My lions out here, you're on the right side of this market, buying the dips, all of them. We will continue to buy the dips in this market until the 10-year yield starts to spike. When you see the 10-year yield suppressed like this and stocks sell off like they did earlier today, it's a gift. And did you see what happened? Like I said, stocks fell under some pressure. Cavalry comes in. It's probably the Federal Reserve. They have a trading desk at the New York Fed. Go look it up for yourself. And the market just got bought up. And guess what happened? A new record high for the S&P 500. Could you imagine my shock? No, because I told you it was going to happen. And you're going to see more record highs moving forward. Record high, bam, 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 bam. The Fed's going to continue to inflate, and you know that. So you must be on the opposite side of that trade. That means holding an anti-debt unit, one of these lovely things. You got it? People, this guy right here loves you a lot. I mean that. I'm going to ask you sincerely to please share this video. Start talking about these things in chat rooms, whatever you got to do. I'm counting on you. We are a team, and we must make a difference. And this is how we can do it together, all right? I'm out of here. See you in the morning.